Bonjour, welcome to French 1. I'm Madame Rumley. It is Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, week 19, February 2nd. And today's lesson is called Mes voisins, or my neighbors. Little quick side note, two of our fellow French students met up at swim practice and took a picture, and I wanted to share. Alex and Olivia. Olivia's in the other class, and so they texted me a picture. So if you guys ever meet up with each other on purpose or on accident, send me a picture. It's fun. It's fun to feel connected because we're also spread apart. Also, some news. C'est un garçon. I recently learned that I'm having a baby boy. I don't know if you could see this picture very well. It's zoomed in on the ultrasound. This is his head, and side profiler is his nose. This little part is like a little tiny arm. This is his other hand. It's going like this. And here's his chubby belly. So, yep, I'm having a boy. Thank you. Feel like you guys deserve to know a little bit, seeing as you are in many ways for the ride with me. And thanks for all your patience when I don't get things done on time because of all that. Well, anyways, let's continue on with class. Le programme. Oh, I should have. That would have been better. Le programme pour aujourd'hui est prière, écriture, cultural corner, révision devoir, leçon 16, l'examen et devoir. Let's begin with prayer. Oh, Father, thank you so much for each of these students. I ask that you bless this time. Help us to be free of tech problems and that we would be able to really learn a lot in this class. That each student, despite the changes of this semester, would be able to learn French well and be blessed by it and be a blessing to others with it. Be in this time. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, l'écriture pour aujourd'hui vient de, accidentally didn't make it onto the slide, Jean 14:14. John 14:14. Si vous demandez quelque chose en mon nom, je le ferai. You may ask for anything in my name, and I will do it. Excuse me. If you demander is ask, like we learned that. Remember when we were ordering things at a restaurant? Si vous demandez, if you ask. And then chose we learned a couple weeks ago means thing, just a general word for thing. Quelque means like anything, something, just a general anything, something. In mon nom, in my name, je le ferai. I will do it. All right. So tout le monde levez les mains. Si vous demandez quelque chose en mon nom, je le ferai. Tout le monde levez les mains. You may ask for anything in my name and I will do it. Jean 14:14. Okay, I'm going to wait a minute till everyone's hands are raised, and then we will begin. Okay, Dara? Sure. Si vous demandez quelque chose en mon nom, je le ferai. All right, Charlotte, start us off. Yes. Well done, Charlotte. You can lower your hand. Well done. Madison. Yes. Good. No corrections, Madison. That sounded excellent. Emma? Yes. Good. This word here is en, like a long en sound. Good. Yes. Très bien. All right, Julia. Yes. Good. No corrections. Well done. Rachel? Mm-hmm. Excellent. You guys sound great. Emma? Yes. Good. Can you, because you guys are doing so well, I'm going to be extra nitpicky. Quelque chose. So you start by smiling and then making a smaller shape with your mouth. Quelque chose. Perfect. Perfect. Good job. MJ? Yes. Perfect, MJ. Très bien. Emily? Yes. Quatorze. Good. You said 40 at first, which is 40, but it's quatorze. I personally get 40 and 14 and 15 and 50 mixed up all the time too, so I get it. Jaina, your turn. Mm-hmm. Good job, Jaina. Good. Sarah? Mm-hmm. Sure, of course. Si vous demandez quelque chose en mon nom, je le ferai. Jean 14, 14. Très bien. Très bien. Good. Faith, vas-y. Barely. Try again. Hello? Yes. Oh, now I can't hear you anymore. Uh-oh. Well, okay. I believe we're back. Sorry about that. I think my internet cut out. All right. Faith, I think you were going. Was it Faith? Where is she? Oh, she's not here anymore. Okay. Well, Elizabeth, why don't you go ahead? Oh, no, Faith, you are here. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
C'est dans mon quelque chose en mon nom, je le voyais. Jean 14, 14.
Good. Can you repeat faire? Good. Très bien. All right, Jonathan. Yes. Good. Can you repeat quelque chose? Good. And then 14. Good. Good. Like I said, I'm being nitpicky with you guys now that you're much better. Well, I mean, you're doing amazing. All right, Aster, your turn. Yes. Très bien. Ethan? Good. Good, Ethan. Très bien. Yana, your turn. Good, Yana. Good. Okay. Good job, guys. Round of applause to all of you. You did very well. There were a handful of you who did not go at all. Would you like to go now? This is your last chance. Okay. Très bien. All right, let's do a cultural corner. If, in case you haven't figured it out by now, I really like words. I'm very much a nerd of them, and so and I've studied them extensively in my schooling. And what ends up happening over time in all languages is that words are, and here's a linguistic term, borrowed from one language to another. There's usually a story behind each time for each word example. Okay, hold on a second. Can you guys let me know if I'm lagging for you? Okay, for 2 students sometimes. Okay. Okay, a little bit. Okay. Okay. I'm going to turn off the video then for a cultural corner. Okay. So, what ends up happening in languages is words get borrowed or overheard, whatever. Words get borrowed from one language to another, and they either have similar meaning, the same meaning, or it kind of takes on a brand new meaning in the borrower's language. So in English, there's actually a lot of words that are borrowed from French. There's hidden French in those English words. And here are some of them. It's kind of fun to pay attention to. So first we have our word for vinegar, which comes from the French word wine, vin, aigre, which means wine and sour. Vin, it's like vineyard or vintage, words for having to do with wine, and then aigre means sour. So as some of you know, there's some vinegars that come from like red wine vinegar. Anyways, that's where we get our word vinegar, sour wine. Next is curfew, which comes from the French couvre or cover, feu, fire. Cover the fire, like put out the lights, essentially. and that's how we get our word curfew. Dandelion comes from the French dent de lion, teeth, like dentist, dent, or dentures or something, teeth of lion, like a lion's teeth. And I think that's because of the shape of the prickly leaves on a dandelion, or maybe because it's, I don't know. I'm not sure why, but that's where it, dent de lion, dandelion. Okay, next we have porcupine, which comes from the French porc, which means pig. That's where we get our word for pork. Porc, épine, like a spiny, needly, prickly pig. Essentially means a prickly pig, which makes sense why. I don't know if you knew this, but a baby porcupine and a baby hedgehog are called piglets. And I think it's because it comes from this kind of root meaning, porc épine, a spiny pig, essentially. Our word debonair in English means like a gentlemanly gentleman, like a person who is hedgehogs are adorable. Um, let's see, debonair, like a super kind, good person, and it comes from the French de bon air, de bon air, of a good air, or like a good what's the word? Like a good feeling about you, a good sense about you, like an aura almost. You have a good air about you, de bon air. And that's where we get our word for debonair. Mortgage comes from, I won't get into all the details of how different kinds of mortgage contracts there are, but in France there was a mort, a dead gage, a dead contract, or a vive gage, a live contract. And it doesn't have to do with the life of the person buying a house. It has to do with, just to oversimplify it, basically if whether you are making more money or less, or not as much in your mortgage, whether you're paying just the interest or the principal balance. And the mortgage is the one that where you make a little less money, and that's kind of the way mortgages work. All right, and then Mayday. My husband's a pilot, and his part of his protocol is if they ever are in danger or crashing or something, they say Mayday, Mayday, Mayday 3 times. And it comes from the French venez m'aider, which means, you learned this verb last week, come help me. Come help. This is help, and this is the me part. Venez m'aider. So someone heard it, I think, m'aider, and said, and started spelling it this way. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. So that's where we get Mayday from. That's one of those ones that I always wanted to know, why do we say Mayday? That seems like a weird thing to say. Thank you. In French, when someone sneezes, you say à tes souhaits. And then finally, alarm. So I got all of these words. I can't take credit for all of these. I got this list. I got all of these words from a list online. The last one, alarm, though, I added. It comes from the French alarme, to the weapons, to the armory, to the arms. And so I think it originally had like a more military meaning, and now has just kind of the meaning to do with being ready and vigilant, or feeling like the blood's pumping or something like that. So there you go. Any questions on these? So it's kind of fun. Yeah, I think it's fun. It's interesting as well. It's always fun to look at our words and where they come from, and especially if, I mean, there's words in English that come from many different languages, and our French ones are kind of fun to learn. All right, let's do some flash vocab. In the chat, can you tell me, what does venir mean? What is the verb venir that we learned last week? You are correct. It means to come. To go is aller. To come is venir. All right. How about je? The conjugation of venir for je. I come would be je viens. Très bien. How about tu? Tu viens. Très bien. Il, elle vient with a T this time. Très, très bien. Nous venons. Très bien. Vous. You guys are answering rather quickly, which makes me think that you remember it mostly. Très bien. Good to see. Venez. And then il, elle viennent. Très bien. Viens, 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 venons, venez, viennent. And then we also learned the word revenir. What does that mean? To come back. Yes. So when we conjugate revenir, it's just the exact same as venir, except with the re at the in front of it. Je reviens, tu reviens, il, elle revient, nous revenons, vous revenez, il, elle reviennent. Good. All right. We also learned last week what happens when any of the definite articles, the le, la, les, or L apostrophe, whenever they are next to the preposition de, what do they become? De, le becomes du. Good. De la becomes, stays the same, de la, très bien. De les becomes des, très bien. And de L apostrophe becomes, it remains the same. Ooh, some of you wrote D apostrophe, so good that we're focusing on this right now. It actually stays the same, de and then L apostrophe. So it's easy to look at this chart and to know how to fill it out when it's in chart form. It's not as easy when we are doing exercises and you're doing many things to one sentence to remember to do this. So just train your eyes to see whenever you see de, le, to be like, not allowed. That's not allowed to be next to each other. De, les, also not allowed to be next to each other. It's supposed to look bad to your eyes, and you'll want to change it to do. You'll want to change it to day. All right, more flash vocab. We learned our stress pronouns, which are like we think they're called the objective case in English. They're stressed. I remember I had the pointing finger. They're kind of who we're pointing to in the sentence. So what's the in English? It's the difference between I and me, they and them. So in French, what are the stress pronouns for je? What is the stress pronoun for je? Moi, me. How about tu? Toi, you. Good. How about, il, elle. Lui, elle. Him, her. Très bien. How about nous? Stays the same. Très bien, nous. How about vous? Also stays the same. Well done. How about il, elle? Close. Yes. Definitely and then elle with an S on the end. And that's them. So again, this is the difference between I and me. Me, you and you. He, she, and him, her. We and us. You. They and them. All right. Last one. Okay, so we went through this very quickly, but let's make sure you guys understand them all really well. We have some games, some sports, and some instruments. So what's les échecs? Chess. Very good. Let me do this. Maybe this will help. Okay. How about les jeux vidéo? Video games. How about les jeux d'ordinateur? Computer games. Good. How about les dames? Checkers. Good. How about les cartes? Good. How about le piano? Good. How about le clavier? Very good, Emma. Le clavier means keyboard. It's the same in French and English where we have the word keyboard to refer to the computer part and also the instrument. So le clavier means both in French and in English. All right. These ones are easy. Saxo, flute, guitar, clarinet. What's la batterie? Drums. Good. Okay. And then, just to make sure we are all on the same page, we had 3 categories of vocab. We had sports, we had games, and we had instruments. Instruments. Okay. And which one of these 3 categories do we use to say we jouer à? We play all these things. We play sports, we play games, we play instruments, but we say we jouer à for which ones? Which of these categories? Very good. Sports and games, we jouer à. And for instruments, we jouer de. So I would, for an example, would be je joue au tennis. That's jouer à, but I changed that. It's à plus le, right? Or I could say je joue aux dames. But if I want to play, and that's, let me do it this way, and that's sports. This is games. And if I want to say I play an instrument, then I would say je joue de la flûte. Does everyone feel like they get a grasp on this? Awesome. It's like a little tricky. It's more little details to think about while you're writing or working on sentences. We'll do some exercises to put it into practice. Because sometimes it makes sense when we're learning it, and then putting it in practice, it makes less sense. So for this exercise, we're on page 218 in the textbook. You're telling your friend where you're going, and then you're going to ask them if they are coming with you. So, tout le monde lève les mains. Elizabeth, numéro 1. Emma, numéro 2. Charlotte, numéro 3. Emma, numéro 4. MJ, numéro 5. I think I'll do the example one first. I think it was, I don't know what it is, but we'll say it's au restaurant. So I'm going to say, I'm telling them where I'm going and then asking them if they want to come. So I'm going to say, je vais au restaurant. Tu viens avec moi? Oh, pizzeria, thanks. That's okay. You get the idea. So we're putting into practice a couple things. We're conjugating our verb aller. We're using the proper form of a plus article défini, and we're using our new verb vient. They kind of did this. I kind of probably shouldn't have written, like given you the proper form of these, but so it goes. All right, looking good. Let's correct these. Je vais au café. Très bien. Je vais à la bibliothèque. Tu viens avec moi. Je vais à la piscine. Tu viens avec moi. Je vais au cybercafé. Tu viens avec moi. Je vais au centre commercial. Tu viens avec moi. This one was too easy for you guys. Let's move on to the next one. D'où viens-tu? This one, I believe you have to be looking at the picture. It's from page 220. I need to scroll to get there. Just give me a second. All right. D'où viens-tu? During vacation, Olivier goes out every day. When he gets home, his sister Sophie asks him where he is coming from. So there's a chart you need to refer to where it says what he's doing each day of the week. And so write both her question and his answer. Let's see. Rachel, numéro 1. Sarah, numéro 2. Madison, numéro 3. Matthew, numéro 4. Et Tam, numéro 5. So let's see, what's the example one? Wednesday, mardi. So for Wednesday, she would ask, d'où viens-tu? Where are you coming from? And he would say, je viens, let's see, Wednesday, mardi, or Tuesday, I mean, le centre commercial. Je viens du centre commercial. Okay, so the things we're putting into practice for this one are conjugations of vient, and then also, but most importantly, using the correct form of du, de la, des, or de apostrophe. D'où viens-tu? Okay, so Charlotte, so I wasn't able to answer the typing questions in time. Would it be okay to say est-ce que tu viens avec moi? And the correct answer is yes, absolutely. That's the formal, complete way of asking that question. The way I asked you was a little bit more casual. All right, does D apostrophe mean from? And yes, it does. Because you're essentially saying here, de où, from where, oops, wrong accent, from where viens-tu, from where do you come, kind of. But because où begins with a vowel, we have to do the contraction here. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Okay. D'où viens-tu? Je viens du restaurant. D'où viens-tu? Je viens. Okay, so in this case, the question, he's saying where he's coming from. And to use the word from, we use de. So here you have a. You need to use de instead of a. D'où viens-tu? Je viens du concert de rock. D'où viens-tu? Je viens de la boum de Christine. So Ethan, you're number 5, I believe. Number 2, je viens de la bibliothèque. Right now you're saying I come to the library. But we want to say he's coming from the library. Je viens de la bibliothèque. Sarah. Very good. De la bibliothèque. All right, on samedi, he's coming from le pique-nique de Monique. Wow, they made that rhyme. Le pique-nique de Monique. C'est je viens de. Well, it would be de le, but we can't do this. It would be du pique-nique de Monique. Good. Now, because you're saying from picnic, we want to say from the picnic. So that would be de le pique-nique. But remember, we can't have de le next to each other, so it has to be du pique-nique. Good. Good job being on the spot, and you did it wonderfully. Viens is misspelled, but don't worry about it. All right. Move on. Good job, guys. Lower your hands. Re-raise them. 220, we also need to be looking at the pictures of the instruments, the sports items, and the games. So you want to ask the question, do you play the following thing? So let's see. Yana, numéro 1. Julia, numéro 2. Dara, numéro 3. Faith, numéro 4. Elizabeth, numéro 5. MJ, numéro 6. Emma, numéro 7. Emma McCarthy, numéro 8. Charlotte, numéro 9. Jaina, numéro 10. Okay? So don't worry, but you just ask the question. Est-ce que tu joues de ou joues à the following instrument, game, or sport? So the first one example for me is tennis. So I would say, est-ce que tu joues au ping pong? That's what I meant to say, ping pong, not tennis. But the second example, est-ce que tu joues, and then it's a piano. I could say du piano. So we're essentially just putting into practice here à or du. Est-ce que tu joues? You want to say, okay, joue. Looks like maybe you misspelled joue. Oh, okay, here. Joue, good. And then guitare. So remember, an instrument, we don't say joue à, we say joue de. That's fine, Jaina. So for number 1, good, very good. Good fix. Tu joues du guitare. Numéro 2, est-ce que tu joues de la flûte? Parfait. Est-ce que tu joues au basket? Très bien. Est-ce que tu joues... Oh, we'll let you finish that one. Est-ce que tu joues aux échecs? Okay, you're nearly perfect, except you forgot to conjugate your verb jouer. All right, back to number 4. Est-ce que tu joues de la clarinette? Très bien. Est-ce que tu joues... Close. So number 5, this needs to be conjugated. And number 6, well done in fixing that. So, est-ce que tu joues aux échecs? Très bien. Est-ce que tu joues aux dames? Est-ce que tu joues... No. So with cards is a game, so we say jouer à, not jouer de. I'm glad we're doing this practice, you guys. See, it always, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Of course, when it's a game, I say jouer à. When it's a sport, I say jouer à. When it's an instrument, I say jouer de. But then when we get to actually putting it into practice, it can be completely different. And that's not like saying anything about you guys. That's just human nature. All right. Est-ce que tu joues du violon? Good. Est-ce que tu joues au tennis? Good. Very good. Good fix. Number 8. Est-ce que tu joues aux cartes? Number 5. Est-ce que tu joues? Good. Good. Très bien, tout le monde. Well done. All right. Très, très bien. All right. Let's look on page 222. This is the using the stress pronouns in putting these into practice. And after this, we'll go on our break. So use the stress pronouns in your answer, and you actually can answer these personally. So let's see, there's actually no sample one for this. For question number 1, tu étudies souvent avec tes copains. Do you study often with your friends? And I could answer this with, here, I'll do number 1. So make sure whoever I assign after your numbers don't match up this time. Est-ce que tu étudies souvent avec tes copains? I can say non or oui, doesn't matter which one. Non, je n'étudie pas souvent avec eux. So I'm answering the question using the stress pronouns. The question is, do you study often with your friends? And I'm going to change that to, no, I do not study often with them. Okay, so the things I'm putting into practice for this exercise are correct conjugation, as I switch from tu to je, and then, but mostly that you use the stress pronoun. Okay. Let's see. Madison, number 2. Ethan, number 3. Yes, I know. We'll go on a break after. Madison, number 2. Ethan, number 3. Emily, number 4. Matthew, number 5. Beware that your names and your numbers don't match up this time. Tu vas souvent chez ta cousine. Do you go often to your friend's house or your cousin's house? Okay, you don't need to answer like, I'm not going to, obviously I don't know whether you're answering truthfully or not. The point is to just practice the exercise. So pick a yes or no type of answer. Numéro 3, tu travailles pour les voisins. Do you work for your neighbors? Numéro 4. Yes, Ethan, you can answer yes or no, it's up to you. Do you work for your neighbors? Numéro 4, tu parles français avec ton père. Do you speak French with your father? Tu vas souvent au cinéma avec tes copains. Do you go often to the cinema with your friends? I suggest that you guys, what might be helpful by this point in French is to write a list for yourselves selves of things you need to remember as you work on your sentences. Like, make sure there's a contraction if a word begins with a vowel. Make sure that there's the a plus article, definite article, the de plus definite article. Make sure your verbs are conjugated properly. Make sure things like that. It might be helpful for you to have kind of a checklist going. Can one say je joue un peu du piano? Yes, you're saying like I play a little bit of piano. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Numéro 2, tu vas souvent chez ta cousine. Oui, je vais souvent chez elle. Parfait. Tu travailles pour les voisins? Non, je ne travaille pour les voisins. Moi. Okay, not quite. Let's look at this closely. So we have, our question is, you work for your neighbors or for the neighbors, and you would say non. So you're saying no, I do not work. So you have your negative sandwich is ne and pas. So you've misspelled the ne, and then you're missing the other half of the negative sandwich to go around travail. So it'd be non, je ne travaille pas. And then also, right now you have travail conjugated for tu and not for je. Oh my goodness, it is so windy here. It's like where you can hear it against the windows. And then also, okay, so fix that and then we'll come back. There's a few other things to fix. Okay, numéro 5. Tu vas souvent au cinéma avec tes copines? Do you go often to the cinema with your friends that are girls? Non, je ne vais pas au cinéma avec eux. So close. You're mostly correct. So we don't need to do the N apostrophe here because vais does not begin with a vowel. That's only if like for number 1, my verb begins with a vowel. So yeah, good. Okay, au cinéma avec eux. So you're totally right that we're talking about the word they. However, the subject here that we're talking about is je ne vais pas souvent au cinéma. Okay, is that they're all girls. Tes copines. Copine means all girls. So we wouldn't say we would use the other form of them. Does anyone remember how do we say them for all girls? Yeah, there you go. You got it. Très bien. Good. All right. Matthew, is yours working? It hasn't showed up for me yet. Okay, Ethan, back to number 3, I believe. So okay, so far you're almost done. Nearly there. Right now your sentence says, no, I do not work for the neighbors, me. And we want the sentence to say, because we're practicing using the stressed pronouns, them, her. We want it to say, I know I don't work for them, for them, for him. Okay, so for number 4, tu parles français avec ton père. I could say, oui, je parle français avec. And then anyone in the chat, what's the ton père? If I want to say mon père. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Oui, je parle français avec mon père. How do I say him? Anyone in the chat, how do I say him? Yes, I speak French with him. Lui. Très bien. Oui, je parle français avec lui. Good. And then nearly there, close. So for les voisins, we want to say them rather. So it would be non, je ne travaille pas pour yeah, exactly. Okay, so do you see? Okay, so what you had before, you were saying, no, I do not work for the neighbors, them. You can just cross off the neighbors altogether. It's like we're replacing the noun with a pronoun. Je ne travaille pas pour eux. Je ne travaille with no s on the end because we're conjugating for je. Je ne travaille pas. I do not work for them. Sometimes being on the spot, it can be so. I personally don't do well on the spot, so it's okay if it's kind of confusing. But okay, does that make sense now? Why we're doing that? So it's like what we're doing is we're actually like whatever this noun is, yeah, we're replacing it with the stress pronoun. Okay, let's have our 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and continue with the lesson. Yeah, great work, you guys. See you in 5.